Hold up just a minute, y'all. Don't you dare scroll past this here video. Don't ignore what I'm fixing to say. This ain't no coincidence, no stroke of luck, and it sure as shootin' ain't just some random recommendation popping up on your screen. No, sir. This right here is a divine appointment, a holy interruption in your day arranged by powers way beyond what your mind can even reckon. Saint Michael the Archangel, the commander of heaven's armies, the one who cast out rebellion with a mighty swing of his fiery sword, is fixing to set his sights on your family line today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not some far-off day you've been praying for. Today. Right here, right now, in the very breath you're taking. At this very moment, a decree's being handed down in the courts of heaven, and it's got your family name written all over it. It says the poverty passed down through generations, the financial chains wrapped tight around your kin, the invisible contract of lack and hardship signed long before you saw the light of day. It's all getting torn up, ripped to shreds, burned away by the holy fire flowing from St. Michael's sword itself. You've been carrying a burden that was never yours to bear. You've been fighting battles planted in your path before you even took your first step on this earth. You've asked yourself why, no matter how hard you work, no matter what you sacrifice, no matter how many tears you cry when no one's looking, money slips right through your fingers like water. You've wondered why some folks seem to rise up easy while you're just trying to keep your head above water. Well, the answer ain't what the world's been telling you. It ain't about your schooling, your zip code, your resume, or who you know. The answer lies in the spiritual realm, a tangled web of inherited debt woven through your family tree by forces feeding on human suffering. But that web is getting torn apart right now. The Archangel's drawn his sword, and every thread of that curse is being cut one by one as you hear these words. If you feel a chill running down your spine, if there's something stirring deep in your chest, if your eyes start welling up with tears you can't explain, that right there is confirmation. That's heaven's own signature, telling you this message was made in fire just for you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because you've lived it every single day. You've seen your folks struggle. You remember the hush-hush talks about money, the worried whispers, the look of defeat in your mama's eyes when she didn't know how the bills would get paid. You carry that same look now. There have been times when you thought things were turning around, when a new chance showed up like the break of dawn, and just as you reached out, it slipped away. The job fell through. The business partner turned their back. The investment went belly up. The door that looked wide open slammed shut so hard it shook your faith to its core. And the worst part? It wasn't just the loss itself, it was the pattern. Deep down in a place you don't often visit, you started suspecting this wasn't random. You felt something working against you, something smart, something deliberate, something that knew exactly when and where to strike to break your spirit. You were right. That feeling wasn't paranoia. It was discernment. Your spirit recognizing the fingerprints of a generational curse that's been hanging over your family for decades, maybe even centuries. This curse didn't just sneak in by accident. It was set up by deals made in the dark, by ancestors who didn't know what they were inviting in, by blood covenants and silence that chained every one of your kin to a cycle of poverty, scarcity, and financial chokehold. And because no one in your family ever called it out, because no one had the know-how or the spiritual power to fight it, it kept on running wild, passed from one generation to the next, like a poisoned legacy that no lawyer's gonna find and no court's gonna fix. Until now. 'Cause you, yes you, are the one chosen to break that chain. You're the generation heaven's been holding its breath for. You're the reason St. Michael's drawn his sword today. Now here's what you gotta understand. And this is where it gets deeper than anything you've ever heard before. What you've been going through ain't just one layer of trouble. It's a whole system, working in layers like an old fortress built to keep you trapped. The first layer you see is what you already know. Empty bank accounts, debt stacking up no matter what you do, chances disappearing before they ever bloom. But underneath that, there's 6 more layers, 6 hidden chains of spiritual bondage that have held your family in lack for generations. And the only way to break through all 7 layers is to activate the 7 swords of St. Michael the Archangel. Each sword's made to destroy a specific stronghold. That's why there's a digital book called The 7 Swords of St. Michael the Archangel, the sacred guide to breaking curses, sealing blessings, and answering the call of the chosen. This ain't no ordinary book. It's a spiritual weapon, wrapped up in pages and words. Inside, you'll find the exact prayers, declarations, and spiritual protocols that match each of the 7 swords. You can find the link to get this digital book at the very top of the comments, the first pinned comment right below this video. Now listen, there are forces out there trying to keep this content under wraps. They don't want you to get this knowledge, because they know the minute you activate even one of these swords, that whole curse starts falling apart. If this message has found its way to you, that means heaven's already fought to get it through. So right now, type down in the comments, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book." Say it out loud while you type it. Let the spiritual world hear your declaration of war against the poverty that's held your family captive for so long. Now let me take you even deeper into what's happening right now in the unseen world. If you could see this with your own eyes, you'd never doubt again. At this very minute, as these words reach your ears and sink into your soul, there's a mighty mobilization taking place in heaven's courts like hasn't been seen over your family in generations. Angels of provision, the ones assigned to bring wealth and resources, have been released from waiting and are coming down toward your life with assignments that carry your name. This ain't just fancy talk or poetic nonsense. This is the real deal in the spiritual world. Knowledge most folks never get because it's been kept hidden. Saint Michael himself is standing guard at the gate of your bloodline, that spiritual doorway where every curse has traveled from one generation to the next, and he's sealing it up tight with fire. Every demon, every spirit of poverty, every spirit of delay, every spirit of financial sabotage that's been running free for years, they're all facing the full force of the Archangel now, and they can't hold up. They're falling. They're scattering. They're losing their hold on your money, your job, your business, every way abundance is supposed to flow into your life. Those blockages, they're breaking loose. The dams holding back your rivers of provision, they're starting to crack. And when they break, and believe me, they will real soon, the flood of blessings coming through will be so mighty you won't have enough containers to hold it all. Folks around you'll be amazed. They'll ask, "What happened? What changed?" And deep down you'll know it wasn't no accident, it wasn't luck. It was the sword of St. Michael, cutting down a generational prison that held your family captive long before you were even born. The enemies of your destiny, those whispering behind your back, celebrating your failures, betting on your permanent loss, they're fixing to see a turnaround so powerful it'll hush every nasty word they ever spoke against you. Heaven don't forget. Heaven don't overlook. And when heaven moves for one of its chosen, that move is whole, complete, and can't be undone. This right here is your turning point, the hinge swinging your whole story from darkness into light, from scarcity to plenty, from shame to honor. Everything you've been through ain't been for nothing. Every tear you shed was gathered. Every restless night was noted. Every whispered prayer in your loneliest hours, heard loud and clear, filed away in heaven's archives as proof to be presented before the throne when the time came. And that time, it's now. The suffering was never meant to be your home. It was the furnace, the fire that burned away all the weak spots inside you that couldn't carry the weight of the blessings coming your way. 'Cause what God's fixing to pour into your life ain't small, it ain't modest, and it sure ain't just a little better than before. It's a full-on total change of your financial story, and it needs a vessel that's been tested, proven, and refined by fire. You're that vessel, that pain you felt. It wasn't punishment, it was getting you ready. Those doors that slammed shut, they weren't rejections. They were reroutes, steering you away from paths that'd give you comfort for a spell, but leave you stuck in mediocrity. They pushed you toward the one door that leads to your full inheritance. That door's opening now. You can feel it. Something in your life's air is shifting. The heaviness sitting on your chest for months is starting to lift. The fog clouding your mind is clearing. And in its place, a strange, powerful surety is settling in your spirit. The surety that your season's changed, that the old chapter's closed, and what's coming next will make all you suffered worth it 1,000 times over. Now take this in with your spirit wide open, because what I'm about to declare over your life carries the weight of prophecy. In the next few days, not years, not decades, just days, you'll start seeing the first signs of the financial turnaround decreed over your bloodline. Money stolen from your family through generations is being called back. Debts that seemed impossible to beat, they're going to be wiped out in ways you never dreamed. Doors to business deals, careers, contracts, and investments you never even knocked on. They're going to swing wide open, and the folks on the other side, they'll be looking for you, not the other way around. Your health too, which has been under fire because poverty curses rarely come alone, is being restored. The stress that poisoned your body, the anxiety that stole your sleep, those physical symptoms doctors couldn't pin down, they're all being healed by the same fire burning up the curse. You're going to feel lighter, think clearer. One morning real soon, you'll wake up and realize the weight's gone, the fog's lifted, and you're more alive than you've been in years. And to those who mocked you, looked down on you, treated you like your poverty proved you were less than them, heaven's got a message. Their season of easy living, built on pride, is coming to an end. They're going to come to you, not to sneer, but to ask for help. They'll come humbly, seeing the hand of God on your life all along, even when it didn't look like it. Justice ain't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, slow, and deadly precise. And the justice heading your way is going to make things right in ways only a God who sees all and forgets nothing can do. This is the new season, the era of restoration. Every good thing taken from your family is coming back, multiplied with interest. Your homes, your land, your chances, your peace, your dignity, all of it's on its way, carried by angels with orders no power in heaven, earth, or hell can stop. And that's why you can't let this moment slip by without getting the full revelation. Remember what was said about the 7 layers of the curse. Surface prayers only scratch the surface, but a generational poverty curse runs deep, down to the roots of your family tree. And only the 7 swords of St. Michael can cut that deep. The digital book, The 7 Swords of St. Michael the Archangel, was written as a battle guide for this very moment. Each chapter matches up with one sword, one part of the curse, and gives you the exact words and spiritual stance to activate that sword over your bloodline. You'll find the link pinned at the very top of the comments. Don't let the enemy fool you into thinking you can handle this with just generic prayers and good intentions. This here's a surgical fight in the spirit, and it calls for surgical tools. So go ahead now. Comment, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book," and then hit that link right quick, because that window of activation ain't gonna stay open forever. Now hear this final word, and let it burn deep into your spirit so no storm, no setback, no doubt can ever wash it away. You ain't poor. You've been under a curse that made poverty look like your identity, but poverty was never who you are. It was a mask placed on your bloodline by an enemy who knew that if you ever found out who you truly are, his whole game would fall apart. Today that mask is being ripped off. Today St. Michael the Archangel holds that mask in his hand, setting it on fire before God's throne as proof the contract's been cut, the curse broken, and your family set free. From this moment on, you'll draw to you what was always meant to be yours. Wealth will chase you down. Favor will follow you. Opportunities will hunt you down in the streets and won't leave till you say yes. The folks meant to help you rise will show up as if called by some invisible hand, because that's exactly what happened. They were called. Your children won't inherit the curse. They'll inherit the blessing. Your name will be spoken with respect by those who once dismissed you. Your table will be full. Your home will ring with laughter, not fights over money. Your sleep will be deep and peaceful, because the anxiety that kept you up, that was just a symptom of the curse. The curse is dead. So I'm declaring abundance over your bank account, amen. So I'm laying down a supernatural blessing over your business right now. I'm talking unexpected checks, surprise contracts, gifts from out of nowhere, and even inheritances